who I look like? That motherfucker off the roof. You remember the Rudolph
You better have a dingling of
Claymations?
gold.
That's who I look like. The little motherfucking
The little
elf.
fucking elf.
Yes.
The dentist!
Yes. I'm gonna be a dentist.
I don't want to be
You
an
can't
elf.
hire me.
wanna
I
be a
quit.
Dentist. Dentists are just.
He must have a dingling of gold.
Huh?
He must have a dingling of gold.
I'm so.
Yeah, right.
Only if the PA is gold. Do they make gold PAs?
I'm certain they make gold PAs. Probably 24 karat gold.
What's a piercing?
They call it 24 karat magic. In the air.
What do you want for Christmas? Anyway.
Anyway, welcome to another episode of Poundcast. That's all going in the episode.
God damn
All
it.
of that's going in the episode.
God damn it.
Where I let the pups run wild. And run wild they do.
With or without Poundcast?
They be acting up, y'all. So, my month was relatively... Well, no, it wasn't. It was busy because of this bitch. Had me running around God's creation.
It was a good time. Our little Christmas party was
Our
fun.
little Christmas party was fun.
We got drunk. We went to Woody's for a second. We went to the Fountain House.
Yeah, which was a cute little spot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a cute little spot. I don't know if I could go there all the time because it really does scream like homeless gays that spend $75 on like their outfit and don't have no money for like
Homeless gays that shop at Zara.
Yes.
Yes, very that. Love it though. It's a great place. Drinks are cheap. They know how to use it.
Not my drink.
Listen. My favorite thing is that I can hand them a card and go anywhere in that bar, and it just gets charged. I like that. I don't like a cash bar. Cash is dirty.
Okay, Karen. Martha.
But it was fun.
You not gonna talk about your experience?
Oh no, girl.
Okay.
It was a time.
That's why I'm saying, going, tell me about this.
No,
How
it was a good
fun is
time.
it?
I've been there multiple times.
And has that never happened to you before?
No, that had never happened to me before.
Either way, girls, watch your drinks. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Watch your drinks. In general, watch your drinks. Don't leave them on the bar. You may have a exciting night when you can't move. Anyway,
But we had a good time. That was the first time that me and I was saying Izzy ever like really talked, and we bonded.
we had a good time.
We had a good time with Izzy.
So Izzy
Was having a
you
good
know
time
who
with her.
Izzy is?
Not by
Izzy
name.
is one of the go-go dancers at Woody's. That's probably where you would know them most frequently. They dance for Bear Bus. They dance at Woody's for Squeeze and all those other events like
If
that.
there's an event where people are getting naked at Woody's,
Yeah.
he's there.
Izzy is naked.
Gotcha.
Mostly naked.
But listen, not only did he have a good time with us, he was having a good time with himself.
Izzy was living the life.
He was living his best life. And that's all we'll say about that. And while we were doing that, you were off gallivanting across the country.
Oh yeah, you were in.
I was in Memphis.
Walking in Memphis.
Yeah.
Was it walking is what you were doing in Memphis? Or do we need to talk about that later?
We did some walking. I went down to Beale Street, and I got there. We were having, there's like a margarita or a frozen daiquiri bar type thing. We're having a drink in there, and then all of a sudden a parade started. So I'm like, oh, look, I should have Memphis, and they had a parade for me. Nobody knew there was a parade going to happen, but there was a parade that happened, and yeah. So we did some walking.
Bringing all the boys to the yard.
From the sling to the floor, to the table,
To the table.
to the wall, till the
Sweat
sweat
drips
drops
down
down
your
those
balls.
balls.
Okay. I mean,
Oh, ski.
Motherfucker. All skeet skeet.
God damn.
It's a Christmas carol.
Yes, y'all, it is Christmas time here at Poundcast. You guys might get this by Christmas.
Man,
I I ain't making no promises. You'll get it before January. How about that?
Before New Year's.
You'll get it before New Year's. But this is our Christmas episode. And, so I was just thinking, do you guys have any, like, special Christmas memories? Any, like, fancy Christmas stuff? Any Christmas traditions that you guys do in your, lives?
Yeah, the memories that come back. Oh, for me, I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but it's always the family stuff. I remember the first after I adopted. My ex-husband and I adopted kids. Our first Christmas with them, coming from a household where they were basically had nothing at all. To us spoiling them on their first Christmas. They were 4 and 5 years old. And, those are the memories that I have of, that, like, coming down the stairs. Like, I was that parent that, like, there wasn't a single present under the tree on Christmas Eve. And when they came down Christmas morning, the entire living room was full.
That's how my family was. It would be like, there's nothing under the tree.
Yeah.
And my mom would be like, Santa Claus ain't coming for y'all. I don't know.
Go bad.
Santa Claus don't come to the hood. We didn't live in the hood, but, Santa Claus don't come to the hood. He ain't coming out here. And then we would get up in the morning, and it would look like, Christmas exploded all over the house.
Right.
See, we've always used Christmas, like, it was always with family. We would do everything as the latest was Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day was like, that was family time. That was dinner. That was everything like that. And it was like a relaxed day. Like, that's where, like, it was time to turn down and just relax. That's what we always used it for.
Yeah, I remember I had this. I was talking about this on my comedy show that y'all didn't go to last night. Just saying.
I wasn't invited.
We'll get back to that.
Oh, you have to send me personalized invites. You know that.
Anyway, I have a memory of, like, so we're in the first Nintendo came out. Like, we wanted one so bad because, like, that was the toy. And my mom was like, hell no, I'm not getting y'all no damn Nintendo. And so Christmas morning we came downstairs and she's downstairs playing the Nintendo. And so we were all excited. She was like, I don't know what y'all excited about. This is mine. But, so eventually it was it's like, so it, like, started my love of gaming and all of that stuff. And so, like, that's one that I, like, hold very dear. And then, like, last year my sister had her baby, like, right before Christmas. So, like, having a new baby in the house and all that, I wasn't touching that motherfucker, but just the fact that there was a baby. Not motherfucker in the sense that, like, she ain't gonna hear
But
about it.
motherfucker like baby.
Like, it's a child, it's a baby, and they're breakable and fragile, and I don't touch them.
They make
Crotch
noise,
goblins.
They stink. They stink.
He's a cutie now.
They're cute whenever they, like to, like, 3 years old. Whenever they first born, 6 months to 3 years old, they're cute. After 3, they sticky for, like, 8 years. And then they're assholes for, like, another 10.
You spend the first 2 years teaching them to walk and talk, and the next 18 years sit down and shut up.
Because once they learn, they'll never stop. And you be like, I just want you to shut the hell up. I just want you.
Why do you have so much to say? Why did I teach you this?
What you can't ask every question.
But why? But why though?
Because I motherfucking said so.
But I don't understand why.
The thing is, I was a child that because I said so did not work on me.
I gotta know why. But why do you say that?
But what do you mean? Because I said so is not an acceptable answer.
No, it never was.
And that's how I got smacked around. Because my mama believed in beating children.
Same. Mama had a mean left hook.
Listen, the things my mama could do with a shoe,
Tyson.
she could make that bitch boomerang. And she'd come right back.
Then we got older. She started biting ears off and shit. The bitch was wild.
That's why you a swamp creature now.
Hey, listen, I got both my ears. I learned my place.
So today I'm so excited about our guest today.
I am very excited for our guest. Zephyr and I have talked about this guest and the excitement for having them on.
Yeah, listen, this is the most responsible puppy I've ever seen in my life.
I know, and probably one of our youngest.
Yeah, like I want to know what happened in your life. This is gonna be my first question. What happened in your life to make you so damn responsible?
It's called trauma.
Because, like, you have, all of your stuff, you have measured tones. I don't ever see you being, like, out here acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know when to say when. You know, like.
Unless you watch their Twitter.
Don't
I
watch.
mean, that's for the act
Twitter
up.
is an act up space. If you have a Twitter,
You
that's
said if
where
you have a Twitter,
act
that's where
up.
you act. That's where that's I. You know what I'm saying? But you'll never see him in person. You know what I'm saying? Acting up for real, for real.
I don't know. That was the last time I saw him at one of our pound events. They was completely zooted, just sitting on a stool. Just they took an edible before they came, hit him a little hard, and they was just. I mean,
Hit them, yeah. And listen, and let me tell you something.
looking like Lisa from The Simpsons. Just
And I apologize in advance because we have said him and it is them. It's they them.
they them
And we better get it right because they will correct you
every time.
every damn time. And I love it it's one of the things I love because they don't get mad.
Just a quick correct.
Just a quick correct. You know what I'm saying? And see how I corrected myself?
It's because you learn.
It's because I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? Old dog can learn new tricks.
What's your first Nintendo?
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Mine was Super Nintendo.
Right, so you ain't that far behind me.
I will never be as old as you. You will always be older. Don't ball your hand up like that. That's so aggressive.
Be aggressive. Be
aggressive.
Help, I'm being assaulted.
You know what? It'd be the first time that anyone has been that you are the person who are being. What did I say?
You keep calling me a terrorist.
Because you are a terrorist.
I have never terrorized anyone. Except that time whenever 22 people in the basement of Zephyr's house said, or they raised their hand whenever he said, who's been victimized
by Jacob.
And
22 people raised their hands.
Except for Zephyr.
Zephyr wasn't down there.
Zephyr was down there.
Zephyr, I don't know, but see, I don't know why you lied. Because you know you've been victimized.
I have never been mean to Zephyr to that extent. Y'all motherfuckers deserve it.
What have I done to deserve it?
You know what the fuck you did.
No, I don't. If I knew what I did, I would say I would own up to it.
And then it was specifically brought out at that time at Layback Leather where I had all that alcohol and was just telling everybody
How you felt about them.
And they needed to know.
Did they?
But did they?
I don't like to withhold information from people.
Oh, I know that is a lie because you withhold information on a regular basis.
Listen, I have to. Because whenever I get drunk, then it comes out.
Right. So why don't you just tell us when it's sober, so that way we know about it and you don't be up to fuck you for no reason.
Listen.
All I did was ask you how the weather was. Shit.
And I said, go fuck yourself. That was a time. I was going through something. It was a bottle of Hennessy. It was fine.
Meanwhile, Hennessy's not sponsoring this show now, so don't
that's
get
why.
cute. Take it off the thing. Neither is Quark, but it's fine. It's only 90
We
calories.
have to start taping the labels.
Because if you're not giving us no money,
Wait, neither's Coca-Cola.
It's just enjoy.
it just doesn't enjoy.
That's a brand.
Enjoy. Zephyr.
Enjoy.
I love that they're wearing, the two of you are wearing your Christmas sweaters, and I'm like, bah humbug, bitch.
Are you festive with your little jingle balls?
My balls tingle.
So a friend of mine sent me an advertisement. They were at in Chicago at a museum there, and they sent me this advertisement that says Pioneer Zephyr, and it's regarding this silver
saw
train.
that.
Of course. Now I'm like I go into the advertisement. I'm looking at the website, and they've got two slogans. It was all aboard the Pioneer Zephyr.
That train booked.
Or
There's always room for one more in that trade.
or all aboard the Silver Streak. I'm like,
Listen,
I'm going with this.
If you don't put all aboard the Silver Streak as your grinder tagline, you are fucking.
You're missing out.
That's a missed opportunity for you.
This is it.
Like,
So I'm like, well, they had me in mind.
We have to go to Chicago. You're gonna just sit at that museum for a little while with just that as your tagline, and just see what nerdy museum daddy.
it's going to come and give you what needs to be gave.
Motherfuckers love trains.
There's emoji things in here, but we're gonna just stop.
What kind of trains are you talking about there, Zeph? Or Sass? What kind of trains are you talking about?
The model trains.
Okay.
Choo-choo trains.
Choo-choo trains. Choo-choo trains.
Choo trains.
Look,
They like to come around that train.
That kind of train, that's a different kind of train. That's where you go from all aboard the Pioneer Zephyr to all aboard the Silver Streak. The Silver Streak is the
There's
choo-choo.
always one room for one more on the Silver Streak.
Who's the conductor? Who's the caboose? I have lots of questions.
Please let me be the conductor. I want to run this show so bad.
That's going to be coming up on Poundcast Porns, all above the Silver Streak. Directed by Pup Sass. Cinematography by me.
Y'all motherfuckers hop on this Silver Streak.
With the acting
Exactly.
debut of Puff Zephyr. I'm not going to say acting debut because, girl.
According to recent rumor, he's been acting lately. We'll discuss that later.
Yeah,
with
because
our
I haven't
guest.
heard this rumor.
We'll discuss that with our guest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Why don't we quit playing around and go ahead and bring our guest out here?
Okay. It's time.
Sounds good.
It's time. Pause.
Hennessy will make you have babies. This is what this.
Am
you know
I
how many
pregnant
babies this
now?
is birthed?
Yes. You're going to be in there just moving furniture. Not in
Oh.
the
You will throw them hips back like you ain't never threw them hips back on
I see.
Hennessy.
You will.
This
Okay.
is grease.
And on that note,
And on that note, welcome to Poundcast. We are back with our illustrious guest,
Hello.
Pup Momo. Apparently, you're throwing it back.
I'm
You're
throwing
greasing
it back
the wheels
apparently.
up.
It's what I'm known best for, apparently,
guys.
on my Twitter.
Is this a meeting of the TTA?
But yeah, this is the first time the TTA has been in full completion. You're a member of
the
the
trio
TTA,
is here.
by the
The
way.
trio is here. The Total Top Alliance.
It's the Total Top Alliance.
Girls, give me.
It's a seance.
I'm so proud to be with my brethren
Oh, it's so
and
good.
sistren.
Whenever we start the new TTA, whenever we actually establish as a group, we'll start our own leather title.
Oh,
It'll be
absolutely.
great.
Oh yeah.
You can all compete and lose.
We'll be our own group.
It will be our own.
We'll
group.
have our own patches.
It will be exclusive. You will have to prove
Prove that
how
you
you
are
top.
a top is a state of mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
absolutely.
Top does not mean a position.
I've got videos.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's nothing more top than having. Never. Than having
We
a
are
body
just-
double.
This
It's
is
all
our
about the
newest-
rumor. You got to start the rumor.
This is YouTube.
This is our this is our newest
resident top.
resident top. He's the TTA of the TTA.
A TTA pledge, if you will.
No.
No?
Because pledges.
Pledges, that's bottoms.
That's you.
You
Listen.
get pledges are the bottoms.
Take your pants off, pledge.
Take your pants off, pledge.
Take your fucking pants off.
That's for the after dark. We'll talk about how that started.
That has followed us for way too long. Because I still to this day have people come up to me and say like, "Take your fucking pants
Take your
off,
fucking
pledge."
pants off, pledge. The things that we get into. How do we get into some of
So, from what I remember, I walked into my basement because I was throwing a party at my house, and I was like, man, I wonder what's going on in the basement, because the basement was the designated like play space. You could be, you take your pants off down there. And so you walk down into the basement, and then there's kind of a longer room, and then there's a doorway, and in that doorway is a curtain. And there's a smaller room back there, so I peek my head into the curtain just to make sure everything's going okay. I'm the host. I want to make sure that
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Everything's going okay.
I just want to make sure.
You gotta look both ways on the train track, you know.
right
and
before
so,
you get on a ride.
I open the curtains and peek in, and this one is over here like, take your goddamn pants off! And I'm like, this is my house! What? And there's a room of people just standing there in their underwear with their drinks like,
scared.
they weren't even,
Terrified.
nobody was doing anything. Everybody was just standing there in their underwear, drinks in hand.
People were doing things, you just couldn't see it.
A recap from a previous episode where we talked about this. I would stand outside this curtain room, and I would stand there. I would stand there with no pants on. I was in my underwear, hanging out. And people were like, "Oh, what you doing?" I was like, "You want to go in there?" And they're like, "Who's in there?" I was like, "A lot of people." And then it was like, "Okay, yeah." I was like, "Good, take your fucking pants off." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Take your fucking pants
I
off."
don't know if I've
Like,
heard
and,
this story.
and then that's how it started. And they're like, "What's going on back there? Let me see." And I'm like, "Take your fucking pants off." And
Take your pants off
can
and you
see.
may know.
And then they would just listen. So I'm like, "All right, I got this." So then it proceeded. JB comes down. He's like, "What the fuck you got going on back there?" I'm like, "Help me bully these people into taking their pants off." So JB then also takes his pants off. We proceed to stand outside of this room, literally gatekeeping this room from people. You can't come in this room
Until you take your pants off.
It's a code bar.
Until you take your fucking pants off.
It's a requirement.
The problem is that we
the
had
dress
bullied
code.
them to a point where they just figured that we was gonna come in that room and like do something. You to open that curtain, there was 15 people standing there
In their
awkwardly,
underwear.
just in their
Just
underwear,
like
just
this.
what the fuck's going on?
And they're like, what are we
What are we
What
doing?
is happening?
What's-
And we just kept packing people into this room by telling them take your fucking pants off, pledge, and they would listen. And JB and I let power go to our head
We
and,
did.
and
Y'all are
saw
some fuckers.
and saw how many people we could fit in that room.
There was maybe 20 people in that room when I
and
got in there.
It is definitely not a 20 people size room.
Yeah, it was shoulder to shoulder. I mean,
I just love that you pull back the curtain and they're just standing there, just
everybody was like, nobody was saying anything. Everybody was just standing there in silence in
Like
their
waiting for
underwear.
something to
yes.
happen. And we're like, oh, we didn't. No. They're like, what are we doing now? I'm like, oh, we just wanted. To
I came in to see what was going on, and immediately it was take your pants off or you can't get in. And I was like, well, I guess I have to take my pants off now.
and everyone listened. Everyone took their fucking pants off.
I had
Or they left.
I had a similar scenario where I had one of my Halloween parties. Somebody was downstairs having sex when my downstairs was closed, and I had come downstairs, and there was somebody standing at guard at the door, and wouldn't let me around. Said, "You can't go back here." I said, "This is my house, bitch." Move."
Right, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't go back?
I own
Bitch,
this.
do you pay rent? You pay the mortgage?
They tried to bounce you. In
They
your own
tried, and I'm
house.
like, "Oh no!"
Oh, that's cute. Get out of the way.
Well, Momo didn't do that. Momo said, I guess I'll take my pants off.
And then
But I was in a harness. I was in a full harness, and so I had to snake it around the harness. But I got my pants off. I was on a mission
To do
take
what?
to take my pants off to get in the room to make sure everybody was okay.
And then when he got in, everyone went.
and they all just standing there in dead
It's funny. They're
silence.
like,
Yes.
What do we do now? And I was like,
That's not my problem.
I don't know. Whatever you want to do, I don't care.
Y'all can do whatever the fuck.
I ain't
My
your
job is
babysitter.
done. Look,
You-
my
I
job
am
is
not your
done.
mama.
We got them in that room, and then we proceeded to stand outside with it. And if you told us, no, I don't want to take my pants off, we'd like, cool, you can
You
stand out
may
here.
wait out there. The
You
door
could-
is right
you could
there.
stand out there with us, and you just bullshitted with us while we bullied
Or
other
you could
people.
leave.
And that's kind of what some people legitimately just left.
Yeah, they were like,
which
"Oh,
was
okay."
also hilarious.
Because what power do we actually
Oh,
have?
so we not fucking. All right, I'm gonna head out.
They were like, "Oh, they're not fucking? No." And then they just took their pants off and stood there
Oh my god.
awkwardly.
There was a couple people that were like, they were ready. They were like, whatever this, they're here for whatever this was.
Some of
but they
them were
wasn't
too
going to
eager.
be. But they wasn't going to be the one to start the mess.
They just wanted to join.
They wanted to join.
Oh hell, I would have been like, "I hate
Listen,
go."
listen. What they was gonna do in there?
This is what we're doing. All right.
I didn't wear
Because
any
it wasn't down to the
underwear.
bottom.
All right.
You could feel the suction in that room with them bottoms.
Although
The
there was
vacuum.
one of them, I'm gonna tell y'all, we might need
That-
to change
that-
this.
The Bucci cat said.
Ow.
There was one of them in that room that had his hand. He snaked his hand to where to underneath
He,
my.
he was grabbing the cookies.
He was trying to grab the. And I was
He was
like, wait a
getting
minute, are you signaling that? All
Listen.
right,
Take your fucking
All
hand
right.
out of there, pledge.
go ahead, play with it if you want to. You won't get it back.
I will say that night inspired me to literally buy a personalized purple heartwood paddle whenever we
Is
went
that
to-
what-
That is why I bought this super expensive. I bought that frat paddle with my name
You're
carved
a
in it.
fucker.
Oh yeah, that is what inspired that. And I brought it to the bar and spanked 2 people with it. And
I
it's been-
remember I
and
was
it's-
there.
And it's been in my closet ever since. I bought a customized fucking.
I do have a
It's-
paddle myself. So maybe for the next party.
Maybe we should start theming.
There may
towns.
not be a next party. I'm moving out.
Where the
What?
fuck you going?
Yeah,
Dun,
I'm moving out to Waldo.
Okay, closer.
You moving on your own?
Like Martin City. No, with a friend. She used to work where I work.
I was like, you're gonna make it
She's
on
cool.
your own. Mary
I
Tyler
was getting
Moore?
dinner with her the other night, and I was showing her a picture of me and Reed because I was like, oh, I'm seeing somebody now, and she's like, let me see a picture. So I show her this picture of Reed and I at the bar, and he's kissing me on the cheek, and I've got my harness on with my little paw print here, and she was like, oh, that's cute. Okay, I like the leather. Oh, don't tell me you're into puppy play. And I was like, and she was like, are you a dog? Woof! And we're in the middle of like fucking some restaurant in Overland Park, and all the vanilla people around us are like we're close to people, and I was like, you don't have to say it so loud. You can stop. Like, woof.
The amount of sound editing you're gonna have to
That
do.
I'm gonna have to do for this.
God damn.
For that wolf.
Anybody that has been around Momo and I know that know that fucking
Woof.
It's so fucking bad.
What's funny? So we while we're bullshit, I do have a couple of questions for
We
you.
have to get more serious questions.
So, where are you from? How did you get here? All of that stuff. Give us the true life story.
I was born in Kansas. I was born and raised in Shawnee, Kansas. I spent all my summers down in New Orleans, which is how this one and I kind of bonded. My mom's Cajun, so I have a lot of family down there.
Swamp rats.
Yes,
Swamp rat,
exactly.
that's why-
I'm a
that's why they
part-time
sit-
swamp rat.
That's why they sitting close to me. I'm using Hennessy to bring out the gator.
It's gaydar.
Gaydar. Gator. I already got
He
gaydar.
said, ooh, this one's a
Bring
little
on.
fruity.
This alligator is pink.
Here, I'll let you know if he's gay. Hold on.
A
Yeah.
little bit of fruit on that.
I turned
Sweet
21
on
in
meat.
April, which is one thing that surprises a lot of people about me. They go, oh, how old are you? 25, 26? And I'm like, no, I'm 21. And they go, oh,
Yeah,
what?
girl.
You're
Because
21?
you are the most responsible motherfucker I know. Like,
I don't know how you think that. I don't know how.
because you're so even keeled. Like you are.
What did you say earlier? It's
respectful.
the trauma.
I said
It's the trauma.
It's the trauma, baby. Trauma make you grow up.
Like you are old ass 21-year-old.
So I'll
And I don't mean that in that's not shade.
You're so mature for your age.
Because like
Stop.
sometimes I'll be like, I need to talk to Momo. I gotta figure out a good perspective on something. Like, because you just be like, you're so wise beyond your years.
At least they say before your age. Can be they look, you're so mature. Thanks.
Silence.
That's a way of just saying, man, you old. So
They just say, how you so old and so immature at the same time? That's what they say to me. How you look like a grandpa but act like
Just
a 12-year-old?
young and
That
dumb.
old hole, it's like aged wine.
They don't go over there and say
Balsamic vinegar.
that older gentleman over there.
No. And his houseboy. You can't forget the houseboy.
Don't forget the houseboy. God damn. No, I will throw it out. Zephyr and I have talked about you long before even
Little old me.
little old you, but even before this podcast, of kind of how impressive it is at your age to watch you do what you do, and how you.
What is it I'm doing?
It's
Because
how
I
you-
don't even know if I know.
It's how you conduct yourself in situations, and it is watching you. We deal dealing with Midnight Howl and Pound and the events and like going places. We deal with individuals that are our age, older, slightly younger. There's a difference in between being slightly younger than 30 and being 21.
Right.
You at 21 exude this maturity level that we would expect to see at like a 30, a 35, someone that has been through the things.
You've been through some things.
You have a lot of inflection. Like you look inside before you really respond to things or outward things. You and I, we talk more than we should. We talk so much. Jesus Christ. And it is, you have conversations with me that are on par with the conversations that I have with Zephyr whenever we're dealing with issues of different people. And like, someone comes to us with an issue, again, you kind of manage and run the puppy chat for like Telegram. Whenever you have an issue, you'll occasionally come to me and be like, hey, let's talk about this. And it's very impressive to see from a 21-year-old the insight you have and like your opinions, and you're not just coming at it from this aggressive point where you're like, no, I'm right and everybody's wrong.
Right.
You have true like, no, you're like, I can see it, I understand it, and if I don't understand it, you do ask for the advice of like, hey,
How do I
teach me
deal with
this
this?
stuff.
Right.
And it is extremely impressive to see that from somebody your age.
Who just got here?
I've been here since April. That's it. I turned
But
21
like,
in April.
but the thing is,
I mean,
think
we
the
were
other
just
thing,
talking about that.
the other thing for me that is impressive watching you is how you, because I know how I was at 21.
Girl, me a train wreck.
I was
You know what I
married
mean?
at 21.
That is a different thing.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
But like I thought I knew everything. I thought, and I was one to scrap.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
Cause you couldn't tell me
I was
shit.
unstoppable.
And what I love about you, and what is impressive, is your capacity to, you have your thoughts and your ideas and how the things that you believe, but you also can take a step back and say, okay, I see how you got to where you are.
Absolutely.
And I think that is a difference. That's something that a lot of people, in our at your age, don't have, because there's a level of self-centeredness that a lot of people have that you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to be your 20s. You're supposed to be self-centered. It's supposed to be all about me.
It's supposed to be about you. You're supposed to be discovering yourself, and
You're like, I want to make it. To me, there are people who say, I want to better my community, and you don't believe them. When you say it, I believe you.
You're gonna make me cry.
Please cry on the podcast.
Don't even. No tears. No tears here.
And so it
Tears
is.
left to cry.
Oh Jesus, Ariana
picking it
Flambe, can you please sit down somewhere?
No.
I don't know. I think as my value has always been, it's important to know who you are and what you stand for, because if you don't, it's so easy to get lost and get swept away. And that can be hard for some people, I always say that I have lived a lot of life, and people usually just scoff at me and go, "Oh, sweetheart, there's so much more to live." And, that's true to an extent. But, I think people, as just people, live so many different kind of experiences, and it shapes them in different ways. And I think that the things that have kind of just brought me to where I am have really put me in a position, though maybe traumatic, have put me in a position where I can really, feel confident in who I am as a person, but be able to take a step back and be like, okay, well, maybe this isn't really, like, I can revise this part of myself if it's maybe not what I thought it was. I can change and I can grow. And I think it's just important to have that kind of value of, being able to be open to other opinions, because I feel like a lot of people my age are so stuck in their own head of like, oh, fuck you, like, I'm my own person and I'm right. And, and that's not to say they won't grow out of it, but it's just to say that it's kind of a thing that people grow into and then grow out of.
That response is exactly what we are talking
Yep.
about.
Yep. Just hit the nail on the head.
That response is so like you not only look at yourself, you're looking outwards towards other people, and you notice that there are like you notice where people aren't wrong to be that way, and it is saying I recognize where that is, and then saying like I recognize that in myself, and that I work to correct that. That is what we do not see.
Especially in your...
You are one of our few like young community leaders, and while you may like reject that title,
Sorry.
while you may reject that title,
you're a leader in training.
You are
Not leader in training.
Yes.
Woo!
You
Just tell them you lit,
Lit.
girl.
You are like you do set a precedent. You do kind of pave a way for younger pups entering, because they are going to see how you behave, the things you do, things like that. Of course, they're going to watch us. They're going to watch Zephyr. They're going to watch I. They're going to watch any other person that we kind of empower to do the things and make decisions. But you have taken kind of your own path to do it, and that's what's so
Absolutely.
impressive.
And I think you set the precedent of how you should, like, you set the precedent, and by that I mean, like, there isn't if someone comes up after you, they know what to look for.
There's a bar.
There's a bar. You
There's
set the
no
bar. And if you don't reach that bar, I don't know what to tell you. Like, get like.
It ain't hard.
I mean, at this point, you walk around with the bar and you raise it as high as you want to go.
Right.
If you want to make that shit.
Does the bar mean
I
a
got the
dick?
bar.
What are we talking about
Yeah,
here?
right.
You
This
know
is
if
me.
you
Walk around
Me
with
in the
that
bar.
and if it's not high enough, you raise it.
Pick it up.
You can turn it this way,
This way. You can put it all the way in. You can take it all the way out.
I think it's important to set that kind of, like, hey, I was your age once. Here's how you should kind of carry yourself.
Or
And
hey,
that
I'm
doesn't
going to
mean
be
have
your age
everybody.
at some point, and here's how you should be acting at this age.
I was your
but you're
age
not.
once, like 6 months ago.
It is impressive.
But-
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people like a lot of the younger pups that I'm like, hey, they'll come to me for advice, or they'll say, hey, how would you handle this? And I'll be like, well, when I was your age, and they're like, sweetheart, that was like a year ago.
Right. Sweetheart, I'm 3 years older than you.
Like, I've come to you for advice at my big grown age because I'm like, because there are new situations and things that for this generation and for your generation, you guys have more things, and me at my big age, I'm like, I don't know how to do that, how to handle that. How do you, and it's usually like, how do I deal with the newness of something?
Well, with anything, and I think this is what you're ultimately going for, is with anything, doesn't matter who you are or what the topic is, it's going to affect everybody differently. And the fact that somebody is willing to come to you to say, hey, how do you foresee this affecting?
At 21.
Because,
That's a lot.
I will.
don't know if I'll.
Baby, get ready.
I will
'cause
tell
it's
you-
done.
No.
You just
I
don't like
can
it because we're pointing it
No.
out.
You've been doing it this whole time, so
Oh fuck.
it don't change nothing.
Okay. Continue.
No, I say I can talk. Like there are individuals that I can talk to and carry on a conversation with, who are 19, 20, 21 years old. There are 24, 25, 26-year-olds that I can't. I have nothing. My son being one of them. Oh my gosh, I
I don't have to shade him like that.
Oh, I do. But no, but the reality is, I will. I'll sit there and be like, you can actually carry on a conversation. You can speak to something. You can have an opinion. My son or other individuals, that they move their mouth a lot, and a lot of noise comes out, but they don't
They
say
say
It's not a whole lot.
anything.
Yeah.
They don't say anything. And the fact that somebody is willing to come to you because they want to hear what you want to say or what you have to say, that's important.
I'm gonna ask you one question, but I do have one more thing. While we're throwing love at you, we're love bombing you and shit.
You
I don't-
weren't
I'm-
expecting
I'm-
to come on. You
I'm-
thought you were
I-
going to come
Y'all
here and get
blindsided
grilled.
me.
I mean, we knew what we were going to do.
We knew what we were gonna do. I think that my question is actually gonna kind of speak to this a little bit. As there is a lot of, and I think that the thing that you do that is different is there are a lot of people that are your age that feel like they know it all, and that their way is the way. And if you do not follow this particular path, then you're doing it wrong. You do this thing where you know what your path is and you know how you feel about things, but you allow others to say, okay, well, let me know how you came to that conclusion, because you want to learn how to grow. Because I feel like with you, you want to get other people's opinions and figure out, like, okay, how do they get there? And there's a level of, to me, there are conversations that you can have, like you were saying, that people aren't really saying anything. You at 21, I feel like I can have a conversation with you about just about anything and know that I'm going to walk away from that conversation a better person, having had that conversation. Whereas there are people my age that I have conversations with and I'm like, I feel dumber. Just
happened.
talking.
The brain cells just
Just
leaked
like
out.
leaked out and fell. And so
They jumped the ship.
What did I say last week? You got 2 brain cells and
They
they're
fight
fighting
for
for
third.
third place.
This a bitch right there.
In between that and you ain't the dumbest person in the world, but you better hope
But
they
you
don't
better hope
die.
they don't die, because listen, I want to know, when did you come out?
Well, so I came out when I had my first boyfriend. I had kind of came out to my mom earlier, like when I was 14, roughly. But it was in the midst of a couple other things, and she kind of just wrote it off as like, oh, it's a phase, like you'll grow out of it. And I was like,
You don't grow out
well,
of,
Susan,
you don't grow out of second dick.
I don't know what you know about a phase, but anyway.
You don't grow out of dick. It grows into you.
I got my first boyfriend, and I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to start, really showing off this side of myself to the world, I should be honest, with the people that are close to me, because at the time I was still living with my mom. And I sat her down, and I was like, hey, so I've started seeing somebody, and, this is his name, this is where he's from, I genuinely do feel like there could be something there, and I just want you to know. And she was very confused, bless her heart. She had a couple questions like, well, how are you sure? I'm like, how'd you know? How'd you know you liked it?
He stuck it in, and I enjoyed it. That's all I knew.
I thought about it, I liked it, tried it, liked it more.
She was just very confused, and I'm still there to educate her because she still has questions to this day, even 3 or 4 years later, but I'm continuing to educate and just kind of try to create a positive environment around it, so that way she doesn't really get a negative sense of it, because that's the last thing that I really want to create.
Someone once told me, and you shatter this all the way, is that when you, as queer people, we are born twice.
I would agree.
We're born our normal birth, and then we are born again when we realize who we are and we come out and we start that process. And so, I've always taken, because, a lot of us can be a little immature. And I've always said, that's because we're born again. And sometimes, that's a 24-year-old toddler. Like, they just got here and they don't know.
They don't know how to
They're
act.
just living their new life.
They don't know how to act. But for you, it is that, you came out grown. You're like, I'm out, I'm grown. Even
Here
that
I am.
conversation, even that, I'm meeting someone, I met someone, things are progressing, I need to, have these conversations. Because I promise you, at 16, 17, I wasn't thinking about having those conversations, at all. It was, I knew this was something that was, that could potentially cause irreparable harm to my, familial relationships. And so I was doing everything I could to keep that from being a thing.
Absolutely.
And so that's a very mature way of...
I understood the fear, and I accepted the risk of this could possibly get me kicked out of my house. But, I had lived for so long in the fear, because I knew very early on, I'm a little fruity. That's a little, you taste some fruit?
Taste
some fruit in the air.
There's some sweet in there.
And so
meat, don't
I
you?
was just kind of ready to accept the risk. And, if I got kicked out, so be it. Because if she didn't accept me, she didn't deserve to be in my life. So,
Again, very adult, and I think this generation in particular, they do have very adult ways of looking at things. There's some things that I need y'all to slow down on. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be right at everything. But that's neither here nor there. But you guys have a very grounded sense of self that I think that we didn't have at that age. You might have, because you was married.
I came out when I was 14 years old.
Oh.
And I told
You know who you was.
I knew exactly who I was, and I wasn't going to hide it. At 14, I started acting with the Rocky Horror Picture Show group.
that's how you know.
That was my whole thing.
You was
What's so important right now?
Get
Keep
up
going.
there, you talking to trade?
No, I'm trying to get my food. Give me some dinner. I'm hungry, bitch. Shit.
He's trying to get fed.
Trying to get some dick.
No, if I was trying to get some dick.
So, but I think that everybody has has that moment, and for me, I think I was the same thing. I was 14. Told my dad I was living with my dad. I told my mom when I was 16, and the only reason I told her later was she wasn't living with me. It wasn't a need-to-know basis until, same thing, I started dating somebody, and I was like, it was the holidays, it was Christmas, and I was like, I need to...
You ruined Christmas.
No.
You was gay and ruined Christmas.
Nope. My mother's words were, it's about time you told me.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was 24 and it didn't go like that.
Can we please get your mom on podcast?
She'll be here next month. February
That's
4th
the next
through the 11th.
guest.
Maybe
That's
we-
the next
maybe we-
guest.
January 4th through the 11th, she'll be here.
Ooh, maybe that's our January episode. Anyway.
I would love. Anyway.
Anyway.
You get to meet a mama pup.
Ooh.
Woof.
And it'd be like, wolf, y'all. Where's she from?
She lives in Arizona,
Oh, it would be a wolf, y'all.
It'd just be a woof.
Phoenix.
A wolf.
Wolf, bark,
A bark.
bark. What's the bootleg dog say?
What's a bootleg dog?
Bark.
Bye.
Anyway.
So you've talked about your coming out story. So from what I've understood about different, like individuals that do identify as different genders, go into more like gender neutrality and things like that. It has been explained to me almost as a second kind of coming out. Like you come out again. Have you explained kind of, because you identify as they, them.
Mm-hmm.
Have you explained
non-binary,
that,
yeah.
non-binary, have you explained that to your mother? And like, can you give some insight into that?
That is a conversation that I'm waiting to have, and I don't know if I'm going to tell her. Because bless her heart, I don't
So
think
you
she'll
gave her enough.
understand.
You gave her enough to
she
fuck
knows
you
that
out
I like boys, and that might be enough. Because I think that this is a conversation that will be had with people who really are close to me and understand me and, love me.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Who said that?
Who said that word?
Who said that?
Anyway.
We gay. We don't do that.
So, I don't know. I have always seen it as, like, I don't really identify as either. Maybe queer is the better word instead of non-binary. Because I don't really feel like I fit into either bias. I feel like I kind of fluctuate.
You
in
actually
terms
you
of,
occupy both spaces.
Yeah.
I think that's like for me. It is always I've always said he they because like I present myself as male.
And that's how I started. And I started to realize that I was using he, him pronouns just to kind of please other people and make it easier for them. So then I just started sticking to they, them pronouns. And, it really kind of was an eye-opening event of like, okay, people who really care about me are going to use these pronouns. And so,
For me, it was always like I can occupy both spaces. There are things about me that are overwhelmingly feminine and exude that feminine energy, and then there are also things about me that are masculine that exude that masculine energy. And I believe in hearts, not parts, when it comes to myself. Although I love a penis, and I enjoy my own, and it's my favorite toy to play
this is
with.
pretty good.
So, hey guys, it's JB with Poundcast. This moment is the moment where things kind of went off the rails as far as the actual episode. So we stopped here and we had a little bit more of a conversation, but that was better saved for something that was done in private. We kind of forgot the cameras were rolling, so we all decided that this is probably a great place for us to stop this. Now we do continue on to the Patreon and have a different discussion on the Patreon. So if you guys are subscribed to the Patreon, you will see that. But we decided it was probably best for us to end this one right here. Thank you guys for watching and supporting us throughout this year, 2023. It's going to be bigger and better, and we're going to be doing so much more stuff. So cannot wait for you guys to see it. If you guys are not subscribed to the Patreon, it is patreon.com/KCCaffeine. You'll see this, plus all the other After Dark portions that we have done on Poundcast as well. We love you, and we will see you guys next month.